Hello and welcome back to Needle Lace Made Easy. Michael Dennis here again. In this video I'll show you how the filling stitch on yet another petal is made. The stitch we are going to use on this petal is up and down stitch, which is also known as Ardenza stitch. This is the area that we're going to fill with up and down stitch. In the first two areas that we worked, the top line was reasonably straight. It was a little bit wavy, but we could get away with it. But this one has got a huge dip in the middle. And if I lay a needle across, you'll see that there's enough room either side of the dip to get a row of stitches in. So what we'll have to do here to start this shape off is to work from here to here, whip round this coordinate to this point here, and then work a row of stitches across here to this point here. The next row then should work straight across the whole space. As we have done before, we have brought the filling thread up through the couching stitches on the side here and brought the thread to the inside of the space. Now for this stitch we make a normal buttonhole stitch, remember to watch how it pulls up, and this stitch is worked in pairs the same as the corded double Brussels that you've just done, but this time instead of making another buttonhole stitch by bringing the needle down, we're going to take the needle up. And you'll end up with a loop. Take the needle through that loop and then pull the stitch up. And you'll end up with a pair of threads lined together with a loop going over them. And that is the basic stitch that you'll use to fill this space. Again, we leave a gap equivalent to 2 spaces and put in another stitch. So it's the same technique with the as you did with the double. Make sure there's not too big a loop on the loop between the 2 pairs of stitches. Make your loop, hold the thread, then take your needle up. Pull it through until you've got that loop, and it's important that you don't twist this loop. If it goes like that, it'll get twisted. You must come in so that it is flat and square like that. Pull that loop up. Make another buttonhole stitch. Take the needle up. And then take your needle through the loop. I'll do it one more time. Normal buttonhole stitch. And take the needle up. As I said, make sure you don't come through that loop like that, because it'll be twisted. You've got to come through when it's like that. when you pull the thread up, it doesn't lie beside the other one, and it won't in this case because there's a couching stitch between them. But just push it up and push them as close as you can together. Now I can't get another one in here because that's the end of the row marked with that red line. So I'll take the thread out under the coordinate there. So I've come out straight. There's no need to put another loop in the coordinate here because it's not the end of the row. So we're going to whip this now along this coordinate until we get to this mark here, which will be the start of our next stitch. So now we put in another pair of stitches. So it's a normal buttonhole stitch, and you go up with the needle beside it, take your needle through the loop, pull it up, take a nut, make another stitch, take the needle up, and then through the loop. Again, normal needle lace, normal buttonhole stitch, and up beside it, and down through the loop. That's why it's called, it's been nicknamed, really, it's been nicknamed up and down stitches. It's actually called Ardenza stitch. I think I'll get just one more in before we reach the red mark to indicate the end of the row. So at the end of the row, take your needle through the side as you've been doing, and again to secure it, lay the thread across the space, and secure that one. There's not enough gap between here and here to get a double stitch in, so we go straight to our first loop between the pairs of stitches, make our buttonhole stitch, and go up under the cord and the loop of the stitch above, down through the loop. Now if we went down between that loop, that loop that's there will be going between the stitches. And because we can't get to the loop that's gone under the coordinate, we'll have to make our next stitch over the coordinate. down through the loop. Our next pair of stitches will be over the coordinate. This is where we whipped along the coordinate on the first row. Up under the coordinate, back down through the loop. Now we can continue using the loops from the row above. So ordinary buttonhole stitch, up and then down through the loop. If you're not sure where to go out on the side, lay a needle underneath, and that looks like it needs to go out there. Loop it around again. Lay your thread across. Now you've got a row of bigger loops to work into. Continue working down there and finish off by whipping the last row into the top of this circle. That is the corded up and down stitch now completed. The next area we are going to fill is with a stitch called Williamson stitch.